In our ever-increasing reliance on electronics in our everyday life, even creeping into all of our outdoor activities, the need to charge and maintain our devices without connection to the grid is clearly evident. Today we'll review the Dokio FFSP-110W Mono 100-watt solar panel kit sold on Amazon for $160. Our goal in this review is to see if this solar panel kit can keep our recently reviewed Alpicool T50 fridge freezer running, as well as keep the battery charged in a camping or power outage situation. The Dokio 100-watt monocrystalline solar suitcase is a plug-and-play portable power system. These are two integrated solar panels sewn into a handy nylon traveling bag. This kit includes a Dokio 10-amp PWM charging controller. The 10-amp controller is compatible with 12-volt systems and has an easily read LCD display. Smart PWM charging increases battery life and improves system performance. Built-in protection against reverse polarity, overcharging, short circuit, and reverse current. Two integrated 5-volt, 2-amp USB ports to charge USB devices. These ports can be used without a battery connected to the controller. Specifications of the controller: short circuit current 6.36 amps, direct open voltage 22.5 volts, maximum power current 6.1 amps, nominal operating cell temperature -49 to 176 degrees Fahrenheit. Foldable dimensions 28 inches by 20 inches. Fully open, the dimensions are 40 inches by 28 inches. The net weight is 5.2 pounds. Inside the box we first find a small box with a solar controller, a small bag of cables and adapters. The panels are wrapped in thin foam. Looking at the folded panels, the panels are protected in a nylon cover with built-in carrying handles and a moderately sized pouch to store the cables and charger. Opening up the suitcase, we see the solar panels are protected by a thin plastic cover to prevent scratches on the actual panels. On the center spine, we find an overlapped opening that allows a 2-pole flat connector to poke through the rear of the unit when in use, and a short 1.5-inch length of usable cable. This helps keep the connector protected, and the overlap helps prevent dirt from getting into the unit when stored or in transport. The overall construction of the panels and the design and material is used to protect the panels from scratches and dirt while folded, and its integrated travel bag is very good. The overall design is lightweight, and there is a degree of flexibility that can be a negative during use. The only big negative we found in the initial inspection of the panel was the use of the non-locking and non-water resistant dual-pin flat connector. It seems the reason to use this connector is the need to fit the connector through the spine of the panel while in use. The solar controller is a small and simple PWM controller that has a simple but easily read LCD screen with 3 soft touch buttons. There are 3 XT60 ports, one for the solar panel, one for the battery, and finally one for output to devices, as well as 2 USB ports for direct charging of USB devices. This controller is compatible with lead acid, lithium ion, and lithium phosphate batteries in 12-volt systems only. The cables that are included in the kit are battery alligator clamps to XT60 connector with 41 inches of cable length, an XT60 to 2-pole flat connector with a cable length of 9 feet 8 inches. Lastly, the unit comes with a very short 16-inch XT60 to DC barrel jack, as well as 5 adapters to connect to various DC devices. The use of the locking XT60 connector on the charge controller is very good. The overall quality of the cables is on the cheaper side. The lower gauge of cable size and the use of cheaply made alligator battery clamps are disappointing but easily changed on your own. To connect the system, first connect the battery to the controller. The system will default to 12-volt lead acid battery. Use the menu to change the setting to match the battery used. Once the battery is connected and the proper battery type is selected in the menu, connect the solar panel. As long as there is some light on the panel, you should see the unit display the input amps on the menu. Please note this is the only way to see what is being delivered from the solar panels on the Dokio controller. If you wish, you can now connect your device to the output port. Note, you do not need a battery connected to charge USB devices with a charge controller. Our goal in this review was to see if this solar kit can power our 12-volt fridge as well as charge the battery. Our fridge unit on Eco mode uses 1.4 watts of power on standby and 39.2 watts while running. Depending on how thermally protected the fridge is, the unit typically runs for 20 minutes for every hour of use. Testing of the solar panel: when the unit is in nearly full shade, the panel produced 18.3 volts at 0.3 amps, or 5.49 watts. The results in our testing: the solar panel in full shade is enough to both power the fridge in standby mode as well as charge 4 watts of power to the battery. While power is being delivered to charge the battery, it is not the same as most trickle chargers that produce 7.5 watts. In full sun, the very best output we saw was 20 volts at a max of 5 amps, or 100 watts. While we only saw this output for a very short moment, Usually in full sun, we noted 4.6 amps at 19.2 volts or 88 watts. A small wisp of a cloud or a small shadow will drop the power output drastically. Overall in testing, the average output dropped to 70 to 80 watts. If you are in a fully sunlit area, the solar panel is certainly capable of producing enough power to both run the fridge in eco mode and send 44 to 60 watts of power to charge the battery. Did this solar kit meet our needs? This solar panel kit does indeed seem well built. The included solar charge controller is simple to use and functions as described. The included cables are on the cheap side and a biggest disappointment of the purchase, but easily changed. The use of the XT60 connectors on the charge controllers are locking and seem very durable for this use. However, the use of the 2-pole flat connector on the solar panel is disappointing. It is not weather resistant and can easily become detached with minimal effort. It is clear they wanted to be able to easily store and able to pass the connector through the back of the unit when open, but a locking connector with weather resistance seems like it would have been a better choice. This product is rather floppy. While this makes the unit lighter to carry, even a little flex or slight deviation in angle to the sun has a direct reduction in power produced, and the flex made getting optimum power out of the panels a bit of a chore. There's no built-in kickstand, so you'll need to try to find a way to set the unit up and get a direct and flat angle to the sun as possible. Any slight deviation to the direct sunlight will drop the power output. There are grommets in the panels you can use to try to mount and secure the unit to the stand or side of your vehicle. A more rigid panel would be easier to set up and get optimum power. In full sun with the occasional cloud, we most often saw the unit produce closer to 70 to 80 watts, and this is certainly enough power to run the fridge and charge the battery. However, even the wispiest of clouds will drastically drop the power output of the unit. To produce enough power to safely run the fridge during the day and charge a battery with enough power to run the fridge overnight, you will need at least 5 to 6 hours of full sunlight with this panel. In locations like Arizona, you may be able to set this unit up in the morning and have a full charge every day with minimal supervision and adjustments. However, in locations like Florida with the typically daily summer storms, you may be chasing the limited sunlight to get every bit of power available, and it is recommended to have a larger battery to rely on. Amazon user ratings gives this unit a 4.3 out of 5 stars, with 63% of reviewers giving this product a 5-star rating. Overall, at $160, this is a good item to have on hand and produces enough power in most cases to keep items like fridges running, as long as you have a good battery to cover when there is limited sunlight. Thank you for watching our review. Please let us know if you've used this item and how it worked for you. Thank you for watching and have a great day.